Good morning, ma. In the previous classes about the blood disorders, we have in the blood disorders topics we have seen the anemias, types of anemias, thrombocytopenia. Today let us see about the hemophilia. Coming to the hemophilia means nothing but the bleeding disorder. It is the bleeding disorder. And coming to the definition, hemophilia is an inherited bleeding disorder, and usually it is seen in children, and we cannot stop bleeding because they don't have enough clotting factor in the blood, and clotting factors are needed for blood to clot. Usually you know that clotting factor is very essential to have the blood to clot. And blood clots, to prevent excessive bleeding, there are many blood clotting factors involved in the form of clots to stop the bleeding. The two common factors that affect blood clotting factors are factor 8 and factor 9. Usually in thrombocytopenia we have seen the factor 8 is the responsible factor, and here the factor 8 and factor 9 both are the response in the hemophilia cases. The three main forms of hemophilia include, there are three types of hemophilia, that is hemophilia A, B, C. And coming to the hemophilia A, it is caused by lack of blood clotting factor 8, and about 9 out of 10 people will suffer with hemophilia A only. Means most of the 90% of the people suffer with the hemophilia, and this is also referred to as classic hemophilia or factor 8 deficiency. It is also this hemophilia B. Coming to the hemophilia B, it is referred to as classic hemophilia, and this is caused by factor 9, and this is also called the, and this hemophilia C is also called as Christmas disease, that is factor 9 due to factor 9 deficiency only, and some doctors use the terms to refer the lack of clotting factor, even 11 also in the hemophilia C. This hemophilia is mainly due to factor 8 and factor 9, and usually factor 8 is seen in hemophilia 8, deficiency of factor 8 is seen in hemophilia 8, and factor 9 is seen in hemophilia B, and factor 9 plus sometimes factor 11 is also seen in hemophilia C. Due to these deficiencies only the hemophilia is seen, and usually out of every 10 patients, 9 will suffer from hemophilia A, and remaining 1 patient will suffer from hemophilia B and C. And coming to the etiology, usually the cause is inherited. That means genetic cause is the predisposing cause, and here how it is means, when mother suffers with hemophilia, it is sometimes like that. When father suffers, it is sometimes distinguished, and if both parents are suffered, it is like this. Let us see. These are passed on from parents to children through the gene. This inherited means they are passed from the parents to children through the gene, and usually here the X chromosome plays an important role. And whereas females have two X chromosomes and male have X and Y, we already know. And a female if a female is a carrier as a hemophilia, then from her, one of her X chromosome is there, will carry to the other. If she is a pregnant, there is a chance of getting 50-50 for the next generation. And if the gene is passed on to the son, and he will get the disease, and if the gene is passed on to the daughter, she will be a carrier. Means if the mother is a hemophilia patient, and if she is pregnant, and she will have a male child, means that male child will be affected only. He will not next carry for his babies. Means for the next generation he will not carry the disease. And if the mother is affected and she gives birth to a female child, that female child will be a carrier. Means next she will give birth to the if any baby, male or female, she'll be a carrier. She will continue the hemophilia disease in the next generations also. And if the father has hemophilia but the mother does not carry the hemophilia gene, then none of the sons will have hemophilia disease. Father is a patient, he will have none of the sons, but all of the daughters will be the carriers. If he will have the daughters, all will be the carriers. In about one third of the children with hemophilia, there is no family history of the disorder in these cases. It's believed that the disorder could be related to a new gene also. Sometimes it is referred to in one third of the children it is from not genetic, from some other gene, that is a new gene also. Carriers of hemophilia gene often have normal levels of clotting factors but may bruise easily. That means bleed more with surgeries or dental work. If they are having any dental issues or surgeries, that time the bleeding level will be more. And they will have the frequent nose bleeds and heavy menstrual bleeding if the child is female. And hemophilia C does not cause problems, but people have increased bleeding after surgery. Coming to the symptoms, usually the most common symptom of this disorder is heavy and uncontrollable bleeding. And the severity of hemophilia depends on the amount of clotting factors in the blood. Those affected with hemophilia that have levels greater than 5% most often have bleeding only with major surgeries or tooth extractions. These patients will have more bleeding at surgeries and tooth extractions. These children may not even be diagnosed. These children may not even be diagnosed until bleeding complications from a surgery occur, and severe hemophilia is when factor 8 or 9 is less than 1% in these patients. Bleeding can occur in these children even with minimal activities of daily life. Means when there is a cut or injury in the daily work also, even then also the bleeding is more. Bleeding may also occur from no no known injury also. Sometimes from the skin also. Hmm, it may occur when there is bruising. And bleeding most often occurs in the joints and in the head. Bruising. Next symptom is the bruising. Bruising means bruises can occur from even small accidents. This can result in large buildup of blood under the skin causing swelling like hematomas. It forms like hematomas even by injuries and accidents, small accidents. Most children are diagnosed around 12 to 18 months of age. This is when the child is more active. And next symptom is bleeding, more bleeding. That means it bleeds easily. A tendency to bleed from the nose, mouth and gums with minor injuries also. Bleeding while brushing teeth or having dental work often suggests the hemophilia. Bleeding into a joint next. Here, that is hemarthrosis can cause the pain. That is, and not only pain, when there is a bleeding in the joints, usually pain, immobility and deformity if not treated. This is the most common site of complications due to hemophilia bleeding, and these joints bleed can lead to chronic painful arthritis and deformity and crippling with repeated occurrences. Next one is the bleeding into the muscles. Sometimes it bleeds into the muscles also and causes severe pain, swelling and redness. Swelling from excessive blood in these areas can increase pressure on the tissues and nerves in the area. This causes the permanent damage and deformity of the muscles also. Coming to the next one is the bleeding in the brain also. This may cause due to injury or spontaneous also sometimes. Bleeding from injury or spontaneous in the blood is the most common cause of death in children with hemophilia, the most serious bleeding complication. And usually it is due to small bump on the head or fall from the height. Small bleeds in the brain can result in blindness, intellectual disability, and neurological deficits. It can lead to death sometimes if not spotted and treated in a correct way. Means in a perfect time, if not treated, it causes the death. The other source of bleeding is either urine and stool. Sometimes you can see the bleeding in the urine and stools also. How is the hemophilia child diagnosed? Usually the diagnosis depends on the family history, medical history and physical examination and blood test. Coming to the family history, usually they will have the genetic cause, and rarely one third cases only they are having non-genetic causes. And medical history, if they are to collect, either he is having a bleeding previously, how many times they are having bleed, how long it bleeds, how much it bleeds, either taken any treatment for the previous bleeds, etc. You have to collect that. Coming to the physical examination, you have to observe the any bruises or there, any skin lesions are there, any injuries are there, any bleeding, bleed in the muscles, or any contusions are there. You have to examine. Coming to the blood test, here blood test, what you do means complete blood count. That is usually the blood count and for the RBC, WBC and platelets is done, along with the young reticular blood cells also they will count, and hemoglobin level also will be seen. And usually here what you see, HP will be reduced, the RBC capacity will be reduced here, and the young blood cells also will be reduced from the normal level. Coming to the clotting factors, to check the level of clotting factor, we have to check the level of clotting factor also. Bleeding times and clotting time you have to check. To test the speed that blood clots, that is you have to do the genetic or DNA testing also you have to do, and for the to realize the abnormal genes. And what is the treatment here? Coming to the treatment, we have first we have to identify whether it is a hemophilia or not, how long the patient is having bleed when he is having the first bleed. After that the patient is referred to the hematologist, and for to identify the exact cause and diagnosis. Then the treatment is on the how old the patient is having the bleeding, and what is the present health condition of the patient, and what are the any further medical diseases he is having or any surgical problem is there, and how sick or is the patient, and how well the patient can handle medications. Either the patient can take medications, and the patient is tolerable for the procedures and therapies, and how long the patient must will be dependent on this hemophilia, and how long the patient has to take the treatment. You have to explain the parents, and the main aim is to prevent the bleeding complications here. Why means the bleeding will be either in the head, joints or in the muscles. That's why the main aim is to avoid the complications. And here usually if there is need if the bleeding is in the joint, usually surgery and immobilization is done and rehabilitation of the affected joint, and this may include physiotherapy and exercises to strengthen the muscles around the area. Blood transfusions if the patient is having low HB or RBC count is low. This is when the patient gets usually need of blood. And if the patient is not recovering, if the HB levels are not raising soon, then the patient can be advised to have the factor 8 or 9 according to the need of the variety of the patient, which hemophilia he is having, either hemophilia A, B, C. According to the type of hemophilia, the patient can be given factor 8 or 9 and allow a child with hemophilia to lead a normal lifestyle. And factor 8, usually the factor 8 concentrates are hemophil M, immunate and coed DV. Factor 9 concentrates are immunine and imafix. These are the concentrates. And what are the complications? Usually in the hemophilia means bleeding in the, if not treated in the perfect time, there will be bleeding in the joints or muscles, not identified soon, and treatment, they will have the more complications. Inflammation of the joint and long-term joint problems, very serious tumors like enlargements of the muscles and bones will be seen, development of antibodies against clotting factors will be seen, and infections from the transfusions, they will have more infections, cross infections from the blood transfusions like HIV, hepatitis B and hepatitis C. And so the blood will mostly they can't give more blood transfusions, and usually hemarthrosis and hematoma, spontaneous nosebleed will be seen. And coming to the management, with careful management, many children with hemophilia can live a more normal lifespan. And managing patients' hemophilia include taking part in activities and exercises, but avoiding those which will cause the injury to the patients. And this may include the soccer, rugby, wrestling, and motocross and skiing. But means these sports and games are avoided. Receiving special care before surgery, including dental work. Patient's doctor can advise factor replacement infusions. Usually, these increase the child's clotting levels before the procedures. What procedures usually here they do means, usually the bone marrow examination will be done. This bone marrow examination will be done, bone marrow biopsy will be done, and if necessary, sometime bone marrow transplantation. It is the final procedure. That procedures the small childs they can't tolerate. So that's why usually they avoid the procedures before the patient is at risk, and according to the condition of the patient only they perform the procedures. And so they always treat with the medications like vitamin K and giving some immunoglobulins and like factor 8 and 9 and 11 according to the affected hemophilia. And patient may also get specific factor replacement infusions during the procedure. These remain the clotting factor levels and improve healing and prevention of the bleeding after the procedure, and prevent dental and gum problems with proper dental hygiene and getting immunizations under the skin, not instead of the muscle. I mean, if the muscle are injured for even for a small injection also, they will get bleeding. So that's why injections, IV injections, IM injections are completely avoided. 90% injections are avoided and oral medications only they prescribe. That's why immunizations also will be given under the skin only, subcutaneous. Wearing medical identification in case of emergency. If the patient is too bad and having more bleeding tendencies, then the patient is will be given an ID band to get an identification. They will give a tag. When should parents call their children's health provider? This is an emergency condition, you know. When there is a more bleeding, the patient usually goes into shock and collapse. The patient goes into hypothermia and dehydration also. In order, in these conditions, even if the mother father takes care also, sometimes there will be a bleeding, and when the patient should go for the healthcare provider, means when parents should call with vary based on how patient's condition is, when what treatment he or he is she is getting, they have to know. And since the hemophilia is a long term condition, they should talk with the patient's healthcare provider, and they should get the medical treatment for the child whatever needed. And parents should call child's healthcare provider if their child is either injured or has pain, has bleeding that cannot control, is scheduled for surgery or other procedures. In these conditions, they have to attend for the healthcare provider. And usually these conditions, they can't treat at home, they have to be in the institutions only. And the treatment is usually this, they'll give according to the condition, according to the signs and symptoms, to reduce pain, usually rest and sleep, more rest and sleep. And they give rich diet in iron rich diet. They give in infusions, and they give injection vitamin K usually. In this hemophilia case, in thrombocytosis, they may give for OD injection vitamin K 10 mg OD, or they may give 3 day for frequent 3 days OD, for frequent 3 days. But in hemophilia, they will give for frequent 3 days because it is a great tendency for the bleeding, and yeah, they can't reduce the bleeding. And if blood transfusions are not available for these cases, even the serum transfusions are given. And if available, blood transfusions are given. And if the spleen is enlarged, splenectomy is a must for these patients in order to survive. And they coming to the special procedures, here they do bone marrow examination and bone marrow biopsy to know the what is the main cause. And usually they give immunoglobulins according to the condition. They give immunoglobulin. In hemophilia A, they give factor 8. In hemophilia B, they give factor 9. And in hemophilia C, they give factor 9 or factor 11. We have already told. And the drug, it cannot be controlled by some other drugs. Only the immunoglobulins and blood transfusions are needed. And along with this, the vitamin K, and we can give the vitamin K and K-stat. And the key points about hemophilia in children are: hemophilia, it is an there are some key points which we have to identify is: it is an inherited bleeding disorder and causes an affected child to have low levels of blood clotting factor. And so we have to improve the clotting factors, that is by giving vitamin K stat and vitamin K or K stat. The most common symptom of hemophilia is increased by uncontrolled bleeding. And giving factors 8 and 9 can allow the child to lead a normal lifestyle. Thank you, ma. Hope you understood the topic. We'll continue with the next topic.